Today is Wednesday, December 3rd, 2025. Welcome to the Survivor Fans Podcast. I'm Joanne.
And I'm Stacy.
And this is our recap of Survivor 49, Week 11.
Week 11, this episode's titled Cherry on Top. And I don't remember who said that. I did not write it down.
Sounds like something Stephen would say, wouldn't he? Won the immunity or something.
Maybe. That
Who
could
knows?
be. Previously on Survivor, Jawan and Sage are planning to just get out alive. So they're not playing to win. They just want to get out alive. Sophi S is planning to flip the script, literally. She's going to flip on Jawan and Sage. Savannah's out for revenge. Kristina plays an idol for Steven. Rizo plays a fake idol. Jawan is out. We're back at camp at Lawatu on night 19 after Tribal Council, and Kristina declares that Tribal Council was insane. From the kickoff all the way through to the Jawan boot.
And on top of that, Savannah and Rizo are still here, and Rizo still has his idol.
She went really passive-aggressive with the first thing she said to everybody. You're the best liars. Mm-hmm. Sophi B didn't let it slide, though. She said, well, you guys are pretty good, too.
Yeah.
And Kristina declares in a confessional, I don't know what's going on. No, you don't. It's night 19 and you still don't have a clue.
And Rizo said, well, he didn't need to play his idol.
Rizzo asked Kristina, why did you play an idol on Steven? Yeah, put her on the hot seat. I like that. Steven didn't even let her answer. He chimed in and said, well, everyone told me the votes were landed on me. And then Rizzo says, we heard Sage and Jawan were flipping.
Well, here's the interesting thing for me is that he was planning to play the fake idol in order to get Kristina to play her idol, but she played it anyway, but I guess he just decided to go ahead and do it. It would be fun, and he said, and the jury loved it.
Yes,
so,
it was performative.
Yes.
He used it.
100%. And, of course, then we see Steven talking to Sophi, and he's like, no hard feelings.
And Kristina. Yeah, well, Sophi S is trying to explain her logic and why she flipped.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what Steven did with Sophi B last time, so I guess that's what they do.
Sophi S doesn't feel bad about it at all, does she? She said, Steve and Kristina has held me at arm's length this whole time.
Well, that's true. She had said before she wanted Kristina out because she was always throwing her name out there to be voted off. So,
like you said, Steven's hit her with the no hard feelings. And we see Sophi S trying to explain to Sage, which we had gotten a glimpse of in the previous next time on. She apologized for lying and declares that she somehow realized that Jawan was a bigger threat than Savannah.
Okay. He was a massive threat, and she had to get him out, and she won't apologize for it.
Now, at this point, Sage tells her, you just handed Savannah the game. And you did it with the biggest smile on your face. But I thought the most important thing was you just handed her the game. You handed her $1 million. Because she's going to turn around and flip on this whole principle.
Well, and Sage tells us that she is very hurt, but she thought it was a really stupid move on Sophie's part, and that she would regret it.
Stupid Sophi will regret it. Yes.
Well, and I thought.
Well, she also said that this was humiliating.
Yes, it was humiliating.
That's key. I think that's the biggest part of the whole thing for her.
Because you smiled at me and made me believe you.
Or no, you smiled when you voted him out.
Well, that
you
too.
reacted with glee when your plan worked. What'd you think of that cut scene when they came in? The spider was devouring the ant.
Spider in the web.
Yeah.
Well, they like to do that.
Yeah.
So
we see Rizzo talking to Sophi B, and they've got a whisper plan going over there in the hammock.
even though he thinks Yellow Sophie is with them, she wants Stephen, but Stephen can wait. They say, we don't have to get Stephen right now. He can wait. And Riz is telling Sophie that, we just got to get through this vote, and then we're home free.
Yeah.
Home free for Final Four.
This was an important sequence with Sophi B talking to Rizo there. And she tells us in a confessional that she's closer to Rizo and Savannah than she is to some of her friends back home, but she knows she's at the bottom of that 3, and she knows she's going to need to flip, and she needs to gather some troops. She needs to put a plan together to do that, and she believes she needs Sage, she tells us, but Sage is tricky to work with because she's so emotional.
Yeah, and you can't believe what she tells you.
So we see Sophi B talking to Sage and pitching to her and saying, look, we need to work together. And she tells Sage that she's down to move against Savannah and Rizo. I believe her. And she says they are the big targets.
Sage didn't believe her, though.
She said, I want to trust you. And nobody wins against Savannah. How did Sage lose sight of this in less than 24 hours?
Well, her emotions were running very high because of losing Jawan, and it did spin her.
I think it completely wrecked her game. I mean, she hasn't done herself any favors, but it just keeps getting worse with her. It's a great example of if you let your emotions take hold, you will lose.
But Sophi B keeps trying to tell her, look, I'm not stupid. I know they need to go. I don't want to sit with them at the final either.
Yeah, she says to Sage, she says, I want to sit with you at Final 3.
Well, I don't blame her for that.
Yeah. Yeah, she'll trounce her. Emotional Sage who couldn't manage her. She couldn't, deregulate everything that was happening to her. And what does Sage tell us? That she's just annoyed with Sophi S and wants to get revenge. So It's like on the one hand, she knows that Savannah's the bigger threat, but it's really just about getting revenge. That's at the core of it. That's what's most important to her. Yeah. That's what she leaves us with.
And look at the difference. Here's Sophi B sitting there strategizing deeply, telling her, I'm willing to take a gamble in the game. This is a big gamble for me. And all Sage can think about is,
her emotions.
Well, I'm going to get my revenge, and I don't care about the rest of it.
Yeah.
I want revenge on Sophie first. Mm-hmm. And I thought, I'm not sure she could play the game until she reached that point, whatever that meant, whether it was sending her home or beating her at something or whatever it was. She needed some revenge.
I was surprised when the boat arrived. I wasn't expecting a journey in this episode.
No, I wasn't either.
Stephen was delighted, though. He said this could be a beacon of hope or dread.
Well,
but he's been waiting for this. He needs some options.
He was right. The target was so totally on his back. Mm-hmm. They were all like, Stephen, can't let him win, blah, blah. So I was like, yeah, you go, Stephen.
So they read the clue and find out that it's going to be a really strenuous challenge.
I think it was wise of certain people to not go out there and burn more energy when they're already struggling. Like a lot of them had talked about, Rizo had talked about how weak he felt and that they weren't sure they could do challenges.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they were so excited that, okay, let Stephen go. It was another risk that he could win something, and they knew that, but they were still hoping that he at least it would exhaust him to the point he couldn't win the challenge.
This just seems like another great example of the poor gameplay that this cast has been demonstrating this season to give him that opportunity. And he volunteered, and they're like, yeah, sure, go. Like you said, they all want to conserve their energy. Well, Savannah did at least say she was nervous that he would get an advantage.
Yes.
But she wants him exhausted, so he'll lose. I guess we'll see how well that pans out. But.
Well, we did see, but okay. We're not there yet.
Right.
All right. Day 20 still.
It's a 2-day cycle, 20 and 21.
Yeah.
This episode.
And Sophi S is now talking to Savannah, and they're talking about, well, who do you want for the next vote?
Classic Survivor. Steven's not here. Let's write Steven's name.
Yeah. We all want Stephen.
And even Sophi S says she's a little mad that they let him go. Well, you had an option. I guess you weren't mad enough.
Well, I don't
Savannah
think she
declares
wanted to go.
Sophi S that we're on the same page. And then we get this was the pinky swear thing we saw next time on Survivor, right? This conversation between Sophi S and Sophi B. And they're talking about the need to target Stephen. But if he's safe, what's the backup plan?
Savannah or Rizo, and they choose Savannah.
Yeah, Sophi S offered that up without missing a beat.
Yeah, I think that it would be their wisest move because Savannah's so good at the challenges and they can't beat her. Well, Sophi could beat her sometimes. But, I think she's so much bigger threat than Rizo in the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think that's important. Yes, he has an idol, but...
They set a plan. If Stephen wins immunity, they're going to target Savannah.
All right.
But they're praying that he fails.
Then we're over to the journey.
Okay.
And we had seen this picture of the pot thing out in the water, hanging out in the water.
Okay.
There'd been a photograph or something of it, but because I remember saying, whose arm is that was hitting at it? And you said, oh, that's a dream teamer.
Mm-hmm. And it was.
I don't know.
Yeah, so we learned that Stephen's going to have to run the perimeter of the island, the Journey Island there, and come up and find 6 numbers. He'll use those 6 numbers to unlock the big metal key, and with the metal key, he can crack open the clay that contains the details on the advantage. Did you think he was going to make it?
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, me either.
I mean, when they
show him falling down and slipping and having to climb
I was
rocks
worried about
with
him getting
ropes.
hurt out there on those rocks.
That was something when you saw they had the rope set up for him to climb across the lava.
But every time they would flash on the hanging thing, I was like, oh, the water's nowhere near it.
Yeah.
So I think he has time.
So he did great. He made it all the way around. He remembered all 6 numbers, and it turned out it was an easy solve. You just plug them in order. I thought, oh, that's going to be really hard when he gets back, and then he's got to jumble
out
them.
What order they're in.
But no, it was 184, 325. It was the exact same order that he found them in, I guess. So he gets an advantage
and keeps his vote.
Gets his vote back. Yeah, because he was in jeopardy of losing his vote. And we learned that he got a block of vote, which expires at final 6 and has to be played before they go to tribal council. So he's got to
before they leave for tribal council.
Okay. Yes. Yep. So that's interesting because that takes it off the board. So the knowledge is power can't steal it if it gets played.
Yeah.
It will play before knowledge of his power is available to be played.
We were like, ooh, she couldn't take it because he doesn't have it anymore. Mm-hmm. And she would just throw her advantage away after all this time and secrecy. That would just be a complete throwaway.
She's tracking towards that kind of a result, feels like.
That could happen next week. But I thought, surely I've just had my mind the whole time. She's saving that to take Rizzo's idol away from him when she's ready to make a move.
Just like the block of vote, the knowledge's power expires at when there's 6 players left.
Yeah, they have to use it next week.
So both of them, it's going to expire.
So that should be exciting to see what they do with them. I mean, you might as well play them.
I was kind of hoping they would do something with them this week. 7 is the right time to make a move like that, as far as
I didn't think so. We talked about it, and I said, I thought that the 2 Sophys were going to make a move, and they were going to go with Stephen and Kristina and vote out Sage. And I really thought that then they really needed to get out one more person, because if they didn't and they turned against Savannah and Rizo, then they would be outnumbered. If they took out Savannah or Rizo this week, then Sage, Stephen, and Kristina could, at some point, once they got Rizo out, then they could turn on those three or those two and vote them out, Stephen, Sage, and Kristina. So I thought, no, I think they need to vote one more of that group out, whether it be Stephen, Sage, or Kristina, so that they could join up with the other two. And I wouldn't really trust Sage as much as I would Stephen or Kristina. So that's why I chose her for vote out.
Back to the Lawatu camp there, still on day 20, we see Savannah and Rizo, and I think Sophi S joined in too, and Sophi B. They were trying to catch a chicken.
And the chickens outwitted
Chickens win.
They do, totally. And Rizo, he's not having much to do with it at all.
Yeah, he declared that chicken flew at him like an eagle.
They're mean.
Okay, Stephen returns. What did you think about how this played out? He collapsed onto the beach, and then he tells them exactly what happened. The only thing that he left out was what the details of the advantage.
Well, I think that was smart that he left it out, but I mean, Rizo really clued in on kind of what it was, but it was even, his guess was even better than what Stephen had.
Yeah,
so it's let him think that.
I like that Stephen clocked his reaction. He's like, oh yeah, Rizzo's, his wheels are spinning there. He's working on it, trying to figure out what that is. And we see Rizo talking to Sophi B and saying, oh, he got a steal a vote. That's what he got.
Well, and he goes right to him. You got to give that to Rizo. Mm-hmm. He was right over there going, look, we need to work together, and we got to keep both of us in the game.
He was convinced he had it right, too. He said, I was watching for Stephen's reaction when I told him I knew what it was. I went directly at him, and he was shocked, so I must have known. I also like, just before that, too, Sophi B said, well, I can just take his advantage. Thank you for telling me about it.
Yeah, but that was
as long as he's holding it.
Yeah, because she still hasn't told anybody she has it.
Right.
And, that could go a lot of different ways toward whether her current alliance would trust her or not. It's like, whoa, you had this how long and you never mentioned it to me after I told you I had a
bravo
extra vote, and Rizzo's, you knew he had an idol and you didn't tell us.
Stephen was impressed. He thought, well, his idea is better. The steal a vote might be a little stronger than the block a vote. I don't know about that since it gets played before tribal council.
All right, ready for the immunity challenge?
Day 21. So it's classic in they're going to have to stack and spell immunity. Normally it's on this wobbly table that's moving because of the rope that's attached to them as they move back and forth, bringing the letters.
I like this as a change.
Yeah, this time it spins as they move.
Yeah, and I thought that was going to be even worse, but I don't know that it was.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't. We didn't get but one drop?
Yeah.
Wasn't it just Kristina?
And usually
or maybe
they
Sophi
just
B
dropped
too?
all over the place.
Usually you get a drop montage.
I
for this
didn't love that challenge the old way. There was just too many drops and it
that made it exciting.
But not always. Sometimes it just frustrated me.
Sophi B said she recognized the challenge, and Jeff said, well, why don't you walk everyone through it then? And she was like, okay, pass. And then Stephen steps up and kind of explains it. So
as Jeff wanted him to do it as him.
Yeah. And we learned this is also a reward challenge. So back at camp, there's a spaghetti dinner, there's some garlic bread, and there's tiramisu for dessert.
Sounds good.
And the challenge starts, we see him making lots of adjustments along the way. You did get a stack adjustment montage.
Right. Well, this is his second win of the season.
Yeah, Stephen ends up winning, and he was just ahead the whole time, so it actually wasn't terribly exciting.
No,
there was
it wasn't.
A little bit of tension. Is it going to drop right at the end?
Yes,
and Sage and Savannah were there. They could have swooped in to steal it, but that didn't happen.
I was cheering for him to win.
He had a pretty significant lean, but he pulled it off.
He gets to choose someone to go for the food reward with him.
Yeah. What did you think about his choice? His first choice with Kristina.
Oh, no big surprise.
Made perfect sense, right?
Yeah, he had to take
Played an idol for me.
Sure.
You got to return that.
Absolutely. And I thought it was good because, Rizo had just he was so devastated last time about not eating, and it's really was starting to have a huge effect on him, even mentally. physically, mentally, everything. And so, I think everybody totally bought that as well. So,
Well, Sage was happy that Stephen won because she said the door is open for me to get revenge on Sophie S.
yep.
Sage, you freaking knucklehead. You should be targeting Savannah, but here you are going for revenge. Okay,
Well, in your opinion.
back at camp, for the reward, we see Stephen, Kristina, and Rizo enjoying their feast. And Rizo tells us his goal is to make Stephen and Kristina feel safe and that he wants to target Sophie S. So it's kind of funny how it played out in parallel, right? I don't think they were talking ahead that Rizo was targeting Sophie S. and so was Savannah. So Rizo made his classic pitch. As soon as he decides who it is, he starts painting him as the big threat.
Yeah, I think they talk about it all the time. So they have a good idea of what each other is thinking.
Maybe. He tells him, I promise I'm riding Sophie S. and you can keep your advantage. And Kristina says, that's nice and all, but I really want Savannah out. Okay, back at camp, the talk is Stephen is dangerous. But since we don't have an option there, Sophie S. is ready to flip on Savannah. And she thinks that she can get Sophi B and Sage.
Yep, she told him she had Sage, but...
Sage says, I want Sophie S. out still. It's all about revenge.
She told her she would. She agreed. She made her think she would. And obviously, Sophie believed her.
And then we see Sage talking to Sophi B and saying, hey, let's get Sophie S. out. Savannah says that this gives her some relief, but it's still early in the day. And right now, since Sage wants revenge and it's all on Sophie S., she's feeling okay.
All right, day 21, he's back from they're back from the reward. And Rizzo's connecting with Savannah and Sophi B to take out Sophie S, or Yellow Sophie as they
just
call her.
ate, should be powered back up, but he couldn't manage his aphorisms at all. He was really struggling with 2 birds, 1 stone there.
Yep.
Couldn't quite connect the dots.
Well, you know how that is. Happens to us all the time.
We see Rizo talking to Sage and saying the target is Sophie S. Everybody's on board, Sage says. And Sage tells us, well, she didn't want to work with Rizo and Savannah, but she really wants Sophie S. out. So this is a necessary evil, I guess.
Well, and I like that Sophi B was like, okay. She basically is the swing vote. She can go either way she wants. And I really wasn't sure at this point which way she was going to go. And I would have liked to have seen a little more of her thought process.
Yeah, we did get a little more discussion before they head out for tribal council. We see Sophie S. saying that she can get Kristina and Stephen to target Savannah, and Sage makes 4, so she's pretty confident in that. Stephen tells us, well, he'd love to get Savannah, but he knows he needs to be fluid and flexible at this point, and it's come down to Sophie S. or Savannah.
Yeah, which,
Sophi B tells us she's going to trust her gut. She'll figure it out, I guess, at tribal council.
I was already going, well, guess I'm going to have a 3-point week because I had Savannah, Rizo, Sophi B, and Kristina safe. Because if I didn't, I wouldn't have enough safe
points.
Picks. So I thought, well, I'll end up losing one, so...
Yeah.
So I made that choice, but I didn't have Sophi B safe, or Sophie S safe, so.
Tribal Council night 21. Somehow Jawan is in a turtleneck.
And Sage says she can't fake her emotions.
Right.
It hurt her to lose Jawan, and she couldn't hide that.
He was stability out there and made her laugh, and that was huge.
And it was making her all teary just looking over there at him. And Sophie S did say she was sorry for her part, but, it wasn't personal. It was a game. It needed to happen. She got out a big threat.
You can't, I don't think you ever win saying that kind of stuff.
Nope. Well, especially not with Sage.
And Kristina talks about Stephen volunteering for the journey. Stephen gets to talk about how it was the hardest thing he's ever done, but he got an advantage.
And Savannah pointed out that, well, he got an advantage, but he's not sure who he can tell about it.
because they've all lied to him, she said. That was nice of her. And Rizo declares, hey, there's 7 of us. We need 4 for a majority. We get that 4 together and we'll make it through.
And then they highlighted that both Stephen, Savannah, and Sophie were all tied with 2 immunity individual wins each. So
Jeff does the rounds asking them if they're worried because they're challenge threats.
And Riz pointed out that, hey, we only need 4 votes to get somebody out. So let's do it.
Savannah says that she knows that a part of this is about revenge. What did you think about that exchange between her and Kristina?
Oh.
That was interesting, wasn't it? I don't know why you would really want to choose to do that.
Yeah, why?
I think Savannah managed it better than Kristina. Kristina said, there's no secret who I'm voting for, and I have a strong dislike.
Yeah.
So Kristina and Sage are basically playing the same game. It's just emotional.
Well, I think that Savannah would have had no problem saying we've got a love-hate thing going here. But
she didn't want to say hate. She didn't want it to be that intense.
I don't think she would have objected.
She
saying
softened it.
She did.
She said that they started on opposite sides, and it was hard to come back and find a middle ground there, but they could have been a great duo in a different season.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm not buying that at all. They don't communicate well. They just don't. They just didn't connect. I mean, Savannah's more in your face, and Kristina just is not used to somebody up in her face. So,
Kristina's not really prepared to play the game.
Certainly not as intently as Savannah's willing to be up in your face trying to get answers. I don't think she realizes how aggressive that can be.
Yeah.
And come across to people. And I think that's what Kristina mainly reacted to. But okay.
Sage tells us sometimes revenge is emotional and sometimes it can just be a bonus.
Yep.
And Savannah basically agrees. She said, yeah, there's multiple paths to the same outcome, the same name sometimes.
And were you surprised that when you mentioned it briefly, Savannah said that her vote was about revenge? So like, why? I didn't quite get that.
Yeah.
What do you think she was told? Did Sophi B throw Sophie S under the bus saying, oh, she wanted to vote you out or something?
There was discussion. Savannah knew that Sophie S had brought her name up. Okay, time to vote. And there are no advantages or idols played. Savannah gets 1 vote, Sophie gets 1 vote, and then they're all on Sophie S. And Juwan was celebrating. Oh, heck yeah.
He was like, get her.
Sophie S is out. And she was blindsided.
Well, the jury members.
Oh, my God.
The jury members said that was a good play.
Nate said that.
Yeah.
Alex agreed.
Yep.
And Sophia said, no, you can't have my jacket. And a callback, to Natalie. Well, what did you think overall about the episode? We got it completely wrong as to who was going.
Oh, sure.
Did you think they made the best choice with Sophie S?
It wasn't a bad choice. She is definitely a challenge threat. But I don't know if they should have made that because definitely Kristina's not on board with any alliance that has Savannah in it, I don't think.
Right.
And so it's basically...
even though she did vote with her.
Without Sophie S, now it could be a 3-3 thing. Now, if Stephen won immunity, he could... Kristina's no threat. Why would they bother? And Sage isn't all that much of a threat. So.
Nope. Neither's Rizo or Sophi B.
Yeah, for challenges, but Savannah
that we've seen.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not sure if that the Sophi B, Savannah, Rizo, I don't know how smart it was on Rizo and Savannah's part, at least.
I think it was horrible gameplay by Sage and Stephen and Kristina and Sophi B.
Even Savannah. It was more about revenge than... I think when they're stuck on it's about revenge more than it is about what's going to get me further in the game.
For Savannah, it could, like she said, you can get there you can get to the same name different ways.
Yes.
For Savannah, it's great because she takes someone off the board that could keep her from winning immunity.
Yep.
Going forward. It's stupid for Sage and Kristina and Steven to leave Savannah and Rizo untouched yet again.
Yep.
Savannah and Rizo progress, and then Sophi B gets to tag along as the bottom of that 3. But they get to move forward again untouched, unscathed.
But truly, they couldn't fully trust Sophi S. You know, she's lied to them. She's flip-flopped. You know, I'm going to do this. Got information from them, went back and fed it back to the Alliance of 4. And so, you know, they couldn't really trust anything she said going forward anyway.
Well, you never can trust anyone.
I don't know that it was as bad a decision for them as it was for Savannah and Rizo. But Savannah really didn't have too much.
I don't see it as a bad decision for Savannah and Rizo at all.
Really?
Taking Sophi S off the board makes perfect sense.
Yep.
And they get to leverage how incompetent the other people look going along with that decision.
Well, but
if they had left Sophi S in, then you got Sophi S and Steven with a chance to beat Savannah.
True. So Savannah will still be after Steven because that's her primary thing right now is to get rid of the other challenge threats, and that's smart. So I totally can see that. But, well, Steven has a good chance to win against her. I don't know about, you would think Sage would do better in challenges. She looks like she's fit and could win, but she's just not.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much she's still in the game itself. Is she still trying to win?
Or is she just going,
she's
just playing for revenge.
Well, she was for this,
she
but
knew
now
she
she's got a revenge. What's she going to do?
Take revenge on Savannah next. It's just a revenge play for her.
Okay.
I mean, she started off this game cycle talking about
Shannon.
Savannah.
Yep.
And needing to target Savannah. And then, of course, her emotions got the better of her. Interesting. So this one for me wasn't quite as fulfilling because it just looks like they're handing it to Savannah and Rizo again. But yeah, there was certainly some interesting gameplay. I like the variation on the stacking puzzle, although it seems like you can conclude that this one was much easier, given that Steven was able to pull that off in his first pass. And it had such an intense lean on it, and he still finished and succeeded. So
it was exciting for me, if for none other reason than Steven doing so well. That was fun for me to, see him put himself in that position.
Yeah.
And really push. And I think Sophi B probably made the right choice to get a number down again and before she does a big move. But I'm just not convinced yet that she's going to make the right move, that she won't chicken out and not target Rizo or Savannah.
Mm-hmm. Or fumble it.
Yeah.
The potential for her to fumble this is just as high. We're at 50-50 now that she'll...
Yeah, especially with Steven's advantage. It would be tempting.
She'll go to do that, and he will have already played it. He's going to block somebody's vote next time.
No, I don't have it.
Right. And then she whiffed it, held it all this time and whiffed it. That seems what it feels like what it's tracking towards right now, given her reluctance.
Yeah. I think that might be why I'm feeling just that little bit of, I wanted to see something really happen with that. And, big move. And not that this wasn't a good blindside. She's basically
going to be this season's Mitch from last season. He was going to make a move. He's going to make a move. And then he didn't. And he got voted out.
Late.
Yeah. Or same thing with Laurel. Yeah.
Hopefully that won't be the case. But, I guess we just wanted to see it this week. Do it. Do it
now when you've got the numbers to do it. Yeah. All right, next time on Survivor, we see Rizo saying lines are being drawn and it's an all-out war. Okay, so that's
haven't they
that's
said that
nothing.
already before?
It seems like something he would say almost every day, doesn't it? And we get
Reactions.
at the challenge.
From,
what? A lot of playing mugging for the camera there.
Now we can just say Sophie, Savannah, and Kristina, because there's only one Sophie in the game now,
Yeah.
except on the jury.
I guess that's the biggest plus of this episode.
Yeah, and
Sophie
and
B
then
says,
we see Sage crying.
Sophie B says there's gonna be bad blood. And then Rizo declares we can control who goes home. And he's got he's throwing the L
loser
sign on his forehead there. He's gonna crush somebody's dreams.
He said crush his dreams.
Oh, for Stephen, yeah.
So, well, there's no other.
And then we see Stephen saying this could be the last supper for them, and what I have up my sleeve will change the game.
Yeah.
We think we know what that is with the block a vote.
Well, certainly. Who do you think he will block?
I'm hoping it'll be Savannah.
I was thinking he knows Savannah really wants him, so no matter what anybody else did, he knows where Savannah's vote's going. So she would be a good block, and it would drive her insane.
To find out she's powerless. She has no control on the outcome.
Yep.
At
She
final
has no
6.
vote.
Okay, just to recap, Sophie's knowledge is power and Stephen's block a vote both expire
At 6.
in the
So
next tribal count. Yeah.
They have to use it or lose it. So that is something to look forward to. Mm-hmm. And I hope they play them well.
Yep. How about a JSFL update?
I can do that. Okay. CCB, congratulations, is in first place.
New first place?
Yes, 51 points.
Nice.
There were 37 people who lost their USB. Mm-hmm. And there were 169 people who lost a safe point.
Ouch. Yeah.
Yes, really.
Yeah, it hits
ouch.
hard at the end.
And congratulations to the 8 people who earned a vote-off point.
Yeah, that tells you.
All right.
That usually indicates there was a good deal of surprise in the outcome.
Yes, I certainly was not expecting it.
No.
So. Okay, the side challengers. In first with 50 points is Rebecca. With 48, we have Jeremiah. 47, Anderson and Parker. With 44, Johnny. 41, Stacy. And with 40 points, Justin.
I'm still basically in the same place there with him.
Pretty close.
Yep. But I managed to have a 4-point week.
Yeah, I was surprised I had a 4-point week. I just assumed I would lose a point, but
Yep.
then I was like,
This is where you feel the pain of safe point management in the JSFL at this point in the season.
And this is where I guess I can say, well, I guess I made the right choice when I let Sophie go. Mm-hmm. I've never been able to do that before. I always kept, if I had a 24 after the merge, I kept
cost fallacy is strong.
Yeah, and I this time I thought, you know what? I'm going to do it. And then I regretted it.
Yeah, because Stephen has stumbled. Yeah, but he did really good in this episode, so you got to be happy with that.
It's fun for me to cheer for him whether he wins or not.
I think that's why I'm probably frustrated a little bit with this episode, because Sophie B once again did nothing.
And she's your USB, so that's why you're reacting.
Yeah.
But my USB did really well this episode, so I feel good about that.
Anything else you want to say about this episode?
I don't believe so.
All right, well, that's our recap. Now we're going to turn it over to the super fans. If you'd like to join us in the next listener feedback show, you can call the voicemail line at 206-350-1547 or toll free 844-643-8737. You can always record your own audio. We have several people who do that every week and attach it to the email, or you could type up an email and we'll read your feedback in for you. That email address is joannastacyshow@gmail.com. Feedback's due noon Eastern time on Saturdays. We ask you try to keep it in that 3-minute mark so we can get it all prepped and ready to go and get that listener feedback show published on Saturday. We look forward to hearing your thoughts. How do you think Sophie B is going to play the knowledge is power? Is she just going to hold on and not say anything and hold it as a secret to the end? Is she going to make the big flashy play and take Rizzo's immunity idol? He'll be gobsmacked if she does that.
Well, if she doesn't do it, how's she going to really come out to the jury with all the moves she has made?
It's like Marianne.
I mean,
She'll
they're
just
not
say,
gonna
I had
believe
it
her,
and I
right?
didn't need to use it. Well, she'll show it.
Maybe not, because it could turn her alliance against her. 'Cause
Yeah,
she
I'm
didn't
looking
share.
forward to hearing what the fans think
Okay.
about how that'll
Okay,
play
honey.
out. Likewise, with Steven's block a vote, who do you think he's going to block, and how's that going to work? How's your assessment of these castaways changed after the events of this week? Yeah, you get drawn back in by the questions for
I
listener
know.
feedback
I
every
can't
time.
help it.
It's okay. Who's impressing you the most? Who do you think's playing the best, and who's in jeopardy being voted out next? We look forward to hearing from you and all your observations. Anything else?
Have a good day.
Yep. Have a good one.